Paul was in prison. He'd been in prison for a long time. He was arrested for preaching that Jesus had come back from the dead, which was against the law according to Paul's fellow Jews. Paul had already defended himself before priests and Roman governors, but remained in prison, waiting for someone to decide his fate. Paul would once again have the opportunity to present his case in a hearing with the king, Agrippa, and his sister, Bernice. King Agrippa learned of Paul from the governor, Festus, and he was interested in Paul's story. The king was familiar with Jewish laws and customs, so it was possible he would have a greater understanding of the charges brought against Paul.
The king and his sister made their way into the courtroom with great fanfare. The most important people in the city came with them, and when the time came, Governor Festus had the prisoner brought in.
Bring in the prisoner.
Paul waited patiently and listened as Festus explained the situation.
Your Highness, most honorable King Agrippa, and everyone else, here before you stands the prisoner. Now, many of the Jews in Jerusalem, as well as those here in Caesarea, want this man dead. But I don't think he's done anything worthy of death. Hear him and help me understand why his people want him to be punished so severely.
You may now present your case.
Paul took a deep breath, stepped forward, and began recounting his story to the king. The whole story. King Agrippa, I'm happy to have the chance to speak to you today. I beg you to be patient as you listen to my story. Ever since I was a boy, I have followed Jewish law to the letter. I have read the scriptures, and I believed I knew everything there was to know about God and his promises. I was against Jesus and his followers. So after Jesus was put to death, I made it my mission to stop his story from spreading. I went from one synagogue to another, doing whatever I could do to hurt the followers of Jesus. I even traveled to other cities to fulfill my mission. On one such trip, on the road to the city of Damascus, it was about noon when I saw a bright light coming from heaven. It was so bright, brighter than the sun. It was shining all around me. And then I heard a voice.
Saul, Saul, why are you opposing me?
Who are you, Lord?
I am Jesus, the one you are opposing. Now get up. Stand on your feet. I want you to tell other people about me. Tell them what you've seen here today. Tell your own people, the Jews, and also tell the Gentiles. I want you to turn them from darkness to light.
King Agrippa, I obeyed the vision from heaven. I began to tell the truth about Jesus everywhere, in Damascus, in Jerusalem, and to the Gentiles as well. And now I'm telling you. The scriptures have shown us all along the Messiah would suffer and die. He would come back from the dead. He would bring the message of God's light to his own people and to the Gentiles.
Whew! You are out of your mind, Paul. Your great learning is driving you crazy.
I'm not crazy, most excellent Festus. I'm telling you the truth. The king knows. He knows the scriptures. He knows what the prophets taught us, don't you, King Agrippa?
Are you trying to talk me into becoming a Christian? You think you can do that in such a short time?
I don't care how long it takes. I pray to God for you and for everyone in here listening. I pray that you hear the story of Jesus and know that he's alive. I pray that you believe the scriptures are true. I pray that you understand God has always had a plan. I pray that you can become like me. Well, except for these. After hearing Paul's story, the king decided Paul had done nothing deserving of death, nor did he deserve to be in prison at all. Yet Paul had asked to be heard by Caesar, the king of the entire Roman Empire. So the order was given to have Paul sent to Rome. Paul never stopped boldly preaching the good news about Jesus in any circumstance, good or bad. God used Paul to tell the story of Jesus to Jews and Gentiles, the rich and poor, priests and governors, and even kings.